Welcome to SVG-TV News for Wednesday, August 27, 2025. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. The SVG Postal Corporation has announced the immediate suspension of all parcels and packets bound for the United States, citing confusion and the absence of systems to comply with new U.S. import duty regulations. The suspension follows a recent executive order issued by U.S. President Donald Trump on July 30, 2025. The executive order eliminates a long-standing de minimis exemption that allowed goods valued under $800 to enter the U.S. duty-free. The previous policy applied globally, regardless of a shipment's origin, method of transport, or delivery platform. With the exemption removed, all imported goods, regardless of value, are now subject to import duties and customs procedures. SVG Post says the suspension will take effect at 12:01 a.m. EDT on August 29, 2025, and will remain in place until the corporation is able to meet the requirements imposed by U.S. Customs. No parcel or small packets containing goods will be accepted for shipment to the U.S. after this time. SVG Post relies on Trinidad and Tobago as a transit point for regional and international mail. TTT Post, the postal service of Trinidad and Tobago, has also issued an emergency notification via the Universal Postal Union, the UPU, stating that only items classified as documents will be processed and forwarded to the United States. In a statement, the SVG Post explained that due to the lack of clear guidance and the unavailability of technical systems to calculate and collect the newly required U.S. duties at the point of origin, they are unable to continue accepting goods destined for the U.S. until further notice. The change is already causing disruptions across global e-commerce. International and regional postal operators have joined SVG Post in temporarily halting shipments containing goods to the U.S., including several from the Caribbean and Latin America. Consumers purchasing from popular e-commerce platforms like Temu, Shein, eBay, Etsy, and Amazon may now face import duties ranging from 10% to 50% depending on the item's value. Flat custom charges between $80 to $200 per item, delivery delays due to increased customs processing, unexpected fees upon delivering. The charge is expected to hit small businesses and online sellers particularly hard, especially those who rely on affordable cross-border shipping and low-margin product lines. Many of these businesses now face the prospects of higher operational and shipping costs and may be forced to pass those costs on to consumers or limit sales to the U.S. market altogether. The revoked de minimis rule, part of the U.S. trade policy since 1994, was intended to facilitate international trade and streamline customs processing by waiver duties for goods valued under $800. It allowed millions of small packages to enter the U.S. daily without detailed inspections or fees. Critics of the policy, including some U.S. domestic manufacturers and lawmakers, argued it created loopholes that favored foreign e-commerce retailers and undermined U.S.-based sellers. The July 2025 executive order is seen as an attempt to tighten control over foreign imports and encourage domestic purchasing, though it is already causing ripple effects across the global postal and logistics networks. SVG Post says it will provide updates as the situation evolves and is working closely with regional partners to restore services as soon as feasible. In other local news now, we hear that Minister of Agriculture Subota Caesar has declared that St. Vincent and the Grenadines is positioning itself as a regional leader in the cannabis industry, particularly within the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, the OECS. He added that the establishment of a formal OECS cannabis industry is not only possible but increasingly plausible given SVG's progress. Speaking at the official launch of the Cannabis Festival 2025, Minister Caesar called on OECS member states and the wider CARICOM region to collaborate with SVG in expanding the use and development of medicinal cannabis across the Caribbean.
I want to make a call this evening to my brothers and sisters in CARICOM, and particularly my brothers and sisters in the OECS. St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the OECS, we are leading a charge for the establishment of an OECS medical cannabis industry. We have done the hard work. We have the ability to restart a lab which can be used for the entire OECS. We have the best trained staff for any medicinal cannabis authority anywhere in the OECS.
The minister highlighted SVG's advancement in the cannabis sector, noting that the country has developed expertise in several key areas, including regulation, cultivation, and research, resources that could be shared to the benefit of neighboring countries.
Instead of reinventing the wheel in every island, let us look at having a harmonized approach to the legislation, and let us continue to move the herb freely in the OECS, where St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we will contribute all our knowledge, we will contribute all our hard work that we have put in, and it is going to be the benefit for all, because we now will have a greater market to export and to interact with the wider OECS and CARICOM community.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines made history in 2018 by becoming the first OECS member state to decriminalize the use of marijuana for medicinal purposes and scientific research. Since then, the country has attracted international partnerships and investments in its cannabis sector, positioning itself as a pioneer in the Caribbean's green economy. And 6 years after St. Vincent and the Grenadines decriminalized the use of marijuana for medicinal purposes, several licensed companies have been actively producing cannabis-based medications using locally grown marijuana. Among them is Sayo House of Kush, one of several entities licensed to cultivate cannabis in SVG. The company was one of many showcasing their products at the official launch of Cannabis 2025 held on Monday. The event, which celebrates advancements in the local medicinal cannabis industry, featured a range of products designed for both smokers and non-smokers. Sandy Pryor, Chief Executive Officer of Sayo House of Kush, said the company has made significant innovations over the years. Their product line includes organic, non-solvent formulations that use ingredients such as coconut oil, catering to users who prefer natural alternatives.
Other products like gummies and cookies. Now, the gummies, we're all looking at very popular products at the moment. We know what strain they are, so we have two strains here. We have one which is garlic cookies, we have the other one which is Killer Kush, and these products are made from these flowers, through the oil. So we made the oil first, and then from the oil we made the other products. We have cookies as well. These are vegan, vegetarian products. So these are for the Rastafari, for those that don't smoke or are trying to reduce their smoking. And these products are for non-smoking cannabis users. Because, you know, as we've been legalizing cannabis throughout the Caribbean and different islands and things, we're legalizing the smoking of it. But the focus should be on those that want to use the products and benefit from the products that have never consumed cannabis before, especially those that don't smoke.
Pryor emphasized the importance of medicinal cannabis in treating various health conditions, including insomnia, chronic pain, and anxiety.
Or let's say suffering from insomnia and you don't want to use sleeping tablets, or you find that other medicines from the medicine cabinet don't work for you, you could go for the Killer Kush. Now the Killer Kush is an indica. This is going to give you a little lift, but then afterwards, half an hour, 45 minutes after the initial effects of this, it's going to make you feel very sleepy and you're going to want to go to bed. So it'll help you sleep. It'll give you hours of sleep as well, so it'll help you through the night. So if you suffer from insomnia, these are your safe ticket, if you like, because there's nothing. Yeah, these oils are tinctures. Now, these are micro drops now, so each drop of oil is 6 milligrams of THC. So where you've got a gummy here that's 42 milligrams, you're now in control of 6 milligrams. So if you want a very low dosage, you could just take 2. So now I've sprayed the oil. This is 8 milligrams of THC, pure THC. Now if you've got an area of pain or itchiness or muscle pain or an area you want to treat, you've now got that area treated with your dosages. This is a lot easier to apply. I use it for mosquitoes to keep them off of my skin and stop them from biting me, you know. But our mosquito spray, I can eat it. It's coconut and cannabinoids. Anybody want to spray?
The local medicinal industry continues to grow, with Cannabis 2025 serving as both a showcase and a platform for discussion around the regulation, innovation, and export potential of SVG's medicinal cannabis sector. Schools across St. Vincent and the Grenadines are set to reopen next week, Monday, September 1st, 2025, marking the start of the new academic year 2025-2026. Speaking on the state of readiness, Acting Prime Minister Montgomery Daniel said the Ministry of Education has been working diligently over the past few weeks to ensure that all schools are prepared to welcome students.
Our parents are busy ensuring that children are best positioned in going back to school. And so too is the Ministry of Education. That they are ensuring that the plans are up, they are up, and the general things that are required are put in place. Teachers are well placed. The children too, they themselves, that they would have a place in the school, because it is the mantra of this administration that no child will be left behind. And so teachers are ensuring, the ministry is ensuring that there is a place for each child in a classroom in this country.
Daniel also noted that repair and maintenance works have been ongoing under the school repair program, which has been carried out by the Buildings, Roads and General Services Authority, BRAXA.
And equally, BRAXA, which has the responsibility to repair all of the schools in the country, all of those school plants, BRAXA has been quite busy over the last 2 or so weeks, intensely, although the work would have started at the beginning of this month. But BRAXA had to hype up their work on a number of school plans so that we can have those plans ready for next week.
Daniel commended all stakeholders involved in the preparations and expressed confidence that the school year will begin smoothly. Pastor and police chaplain Adolphus Isaacs has emphasized the critical role of spiritual and emotional support for police officers as they confront the unique stresses of law enforcement. He made the remarks during the police Cop Chat program. Isaacs noted that the role of a police chaplain extends well beyond offering prayers, stating that chaplains must develop an understanding of the officers, their families, and the wider community in order to provide meaningful and effective support, especially during times of crisis.
A police chaplain is a trained, faith-based person. Mm-hmm. Because we are catering primarily for the spiritual aspect of the policemen and women.
Yes.
So the chaplain has to be somebody of a spiritual background. Mm-hmm. The chaplain of the police force also has to know how to deal with humanity in the sense that we are not only spiritual, and we'll do that later. Yeah. But we are an emotional person. Yes. We do have our feelings, we have our desires, and they vary from time to time and various circumstances. Mm-hmm. So the police chaplain has to be equipped with the spirituality, understand the emotions, so that when you have persons fall into different situations in relation to crisis, you have to be there and thereabout to give the necessary support to the law enforcement officers.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Not only the officers, but on many occasions the families, because sometimes when something happens to a particular officer in the constabulary, the family usually be impacted by it.
Mm-hmm.
Pastor Isaacs also explained that counseling within the force cannot follow a one-size-fits-all approach. Instead, chaplains and counselors must tailor their advice and ethical responses to each individual situation and departmental culture.
I do that by, first of all, touching base with the officer or officers who would have been impacted in one way or the other. How do I do that? I've been summoned to meet these persons, and I go to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I use my God-given ability and my training to dialogue with them, because you need to know what is the particular issue, the case of the person.
Mm-hmm.
When that is disclosed, if it is a person-to-person thing, then I deal with it based on how I am so trained and I'm so moved to deal with that particular situation. If it is a matter that has taken place in the organization,
mm-hmm.
and the people in that particular department or that section are distraught, then again, I have to tailor my counseling. I have to tailor the discourse to meet that particular department. And so at the end of the day, you want to leave them better
mm-hmm.
than you would have met them during those very difficult times. So it's a situation that is not a one-size-fits-all.
Right.
You
mm-hmm.
deal with the matters as you so see them.
Chaplain Isaacs highlighted the importance of maintaining clear spiritual and ethical boundaries. He stressed that while faith plays a vital role in guiding moral decisions, chaplains must still operate within the legal and professional framework of the state.
Things I say to people of faith: you have to balance your Christian faith with your secular
mm-hmm.
or your policing activities.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain things that fall within the four walls of the law. And as long as they are right and they are legitimate, you've got a responsibility to carry it out.
Yes.
As a person of faith, you have to do everything
mm-hmm.
that is within, again, the four walls of what you believe, not to violate it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to cut what I call a radical center. You know what you believe, you know what the law says.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, when you administrate out of that, you're taking on what the Lord Jesus Christ said to some people when they questioned him about a coin. And we could talk about that a little later.
Mm-hmm.
You render to Caesar
mm-hmm.
what belongs to Caesar,
yes.
and to the Lord what belongs to the Lord.
Isaacs comments come at a time when increased attention is being paid to the mental and emotional well-being of law enforcement personnel, both locally and globally. His call for holistic, tailored support reaffirms the need to address the human side of policing through empathy, understanding, and spiritual care. St. Matthias Charities, Inc., the U.S.-based nonprofit organization, has once again donated a significant quantity of medical supplies to the Modern Medical and Diagnostic Center in Georgetown. The handing over ceremony today also included the distribution of school supplies and scholarship funds to students sponsored by the organization, continuing its ongoing support for education in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. During the event, Dr. Judy Grant offered words of encouragement to the scholarship recipients, emphasizing the critical importance of education in shaping their futures.
Each and every one of you, I want you to know that education can assist you in achieving your fullest potential for greatness. okay, no matter where you come from, no matter what challenges you may face, your journey to success begins with a firm and solid education. Education is not just about books or the classroom. It's the key that unlocks doors for possibilities, new opportunities. It's the foundation upon which you can build your dreams. When you dedicate yourselves to learning, you're not just investing in your future and equipping yourself with the tools that you may need to elevate yourselves. You're equipping yourself with tools that can not only assist you in learning about the world, but changing the world, and that is incredible. Okay, I know that sometimes it's going to be difficult, it's going to be hard, you may not want to study, but you have to, because you have to put the work in, okay? Especially when you're faced with obstacles. But remember that every challenge you overcome is a lesson learned and a step forward. I want you to remember that each day in school, you're not just memorizing facts and figures, you're developing what is called critical skills. Your ability to not just know things, but to question things, okay? Your creativity and your problem-solving skills. These are skills that will help you to navigate through life and to make a difference in your communities.
Also speaking at the ceremony, Victoria Liverpool Alexander, representative from the Ministry of Education, expressed gratitude on behalf of the government of SVG and urged the scholarship recipients to take their education seriously and make the most of the opportunity.
Your love and your participation into their lives and into their education is something that goes beyond boundaries. Nothing, absolutely nothing, could take away your education unless you allow it. So, children, do your best in school. When it's time to study, it's time to study. When it's time to play, it's time to play. All play and no work, what it does, makes like a dull boy, makes a girl dull. So value education and take whatever you get, the scholarships you're getting, you use them wisely, because you are the future of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Use them. And again, on behalf of the Ministry of Education, we say to St. Matthias Charities a heartfelt thank you.
Robert McBannett of St. Matthias Charities, Inc. shared a brief history of the organization and its mission. He said they were established in 2012, and since then they've remained committed to supporting the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. McBannett said their focus has been on health and education, and they are proud that their donations have benefited a wide cross-section of the Vincentian community, including schools, health centers, churches, and other local organizations.
Consistently receive the largest portion of these contributions. Sometimes donations are specifically allocated to particular healthcare facilities, such as Tubbs Polyclinic, the Modern Medical and Diagnostic Center, Mental Health Rehabilitation Center, Lewis Punnett Home, and the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. For this particular donation, the focus is on the Modern Medical Diagnosis Center, which aligns with the wishes of some of St. Matthias Charities donors. And to you, Ms. Miller, I want to commend you and thank you for the work that you're doing in this community. And I'm hoping that we can just strengthen this relationship and we can work more closely going forward. Thank you.
This latest donation underscores St. Matthias Charities Inc.'s dedication to improving the lives of Vincentians through consistent outreach and support, especially in the critical sectors of health and education. Barbados came alive with vibrant energy as it hosted the CARIFESTA 15 Youth Showcase, offering a powerful platform for young people to express their creativity, artistry, and cultural pride. The event, part of the wider CARIFESTA 15 celebrations, featured a diverse range of performances from Vincentian youth, including dance, drama, spoken word, fashion, and music. Each performance highlighted the dynamism and talent of the country's younger generation, while paying tribute to the rich cultural heritage of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Many of the participants used the stage not only to entertain but also to explore powerful themes such as identity, resilience, and unity. Their performances were met with enthusiastic applause, reinforcing the importance of nurturing young talent as a vital component of cultural development.
Music does move you, cause it does move me the same way too, yeah. But I am a man who is not you. Any bitches in the crowd, if you know it, sing it with me. Come on, say hands, swing back. There's a rush in the air when you get on the stage, cause sweet music you're hearing. Plenty of this coming down. People flooding up the ground, sweet pie.
CARIFESTA 15 Youth Showcase reaffirmed that the future of the arts in St. Vincent and Grenadines and the wider region is bright. The next generation continues to carry the torch of cultural expression with passion, pride, and a deep commitment to telling their stories through the arts. And we continue this evening to feature the contestants vying for the Miss SVG title this year. 23-year-old Villa resident Nzinga Daroshe is contestant number 3, sponsored by the Republic Bank EC Limited, and this marks her first time entering a pageant. Despite facing personal challenges, Daroshe said she has overcome them with confidence, thanks in large part to the strong support system around her, particularly her family.
It wasn't my first idea, but from my friends telling me you got this, and once you put your best foot forward, anything you do is possible. So it was always motivation from my friends as well as the courage and drive from my mom.
Okay. Have you been in pageants before?
No, I have not. This is my very first.
What has been the experience like and preparations to this day?
So far it has been hectic, but overall, it's a good experience. It's nothing that I can't handle. Even though I might tear up at times, it's always something that I can overcome.
What extracurricular activities are you involved in?
I often dance. It has always been something I loved to do. It allows me to express myself and just be true to who I am.
How do you balance it with work? And
I often sleep just to get out of the fast-paced everyday life. Sleeping has been my coping mechanism. But I often go to the gym, which is also a love of mine. I love to just release myself in the gym. Some may say take my stress out on the weights.
Daroshe is the only girl among 4 siblings, a graduate of the St. Vincent and Grenadines Community College. She is currently employed at the Inland Revenue Department. Looking ahead, she expressed hope that if she wins the Miss SVG Crown 2025, she will use the platform to work with youth across the country with the backing of her sponsors.
So if you're to win Miss SVG 2025, what would be your focus?
My focus would just be on encouraging young people to believe in themselves and never let the negative of others put them down.
Was it difficult to get sponsorship?
It was not. I believe it was their first impression of me that drew them to this lovely young lady that I am. And I am happy that they are on board and that we can continue to grow even beyond the Miss SVG stage.
When we met with Nzinga, we were wowed by her. She's young, she's composed, she's calm, yet she's a very talented, intelligent young lady. And we believe she's going to be a great ambassador for the bank. And through our Power to Make a Difference program, where we work a lot with youths, we think she's going to be excellent assets to the bank. And of course, when we go to community projects and so forth, Nzinga is going to be our shining star.